Little Amanda Jean Simpson was just 4 years old when she was taken to a Prince George, BC hospital on the day before Halloween, 1999. She was taken there by her mother and stepfather with massive head and abdominal injuries. She was in a coma, and 3 days after she arrived at hospital, she was pronounced dead. The RCMP charged her stepfather, Rory Polson, with the injuries, but the charges were stayed after little Amanda died, and no new charges were ever laid. It would be some 8 years before a coroner's inquest would look into her death. In 2007, the inquest determined that her death was a homicide. RCMP would say after the inquest that their investigative file is not closed. Only a few days before Amanda was taken to hospital, her sister told an adult that she was being beaten by her stepfather. The adult immediately contacted the local child welfare department in Prince George. That contact was the second in only 3 weeks. In fact, there had been years of complaints about suspected abuse in that home. Despite that, the child protection worker would say that she would not investigate. She would tell the trusted adult that the sister should be taught the difference between truth and fiction. When Amanda suffered her injuries, she had been left in the care of her stepfather while her mother was at work. She would tell the police that she had fallen down the stairs. Later in the interview, he would tell them that he slipped while holding Amanda in the tub. Amanda's mom would testify that she was told her daughter fell from a bunk bed. Medical experts would say that Amanda's injuries never matched up with the stories he told about how little Amanda was hurt. Amanda had a little sister, Amy, who was only 3 when Amanda was stolen. She wants answers into how and why her sister died and how the investigation was handled. She and the rest of the family deserve no less than those answers. Amanda and her sisters were failed by what some social workers described as an overloaded, under-resourced child protection system. She was failed by one former worker especially. She was failed by a flawed investigation. That does not necessarily mean that the failure cannot be recovered and that answers and justice cannot be had. The coroner's inquest had 4 recommendations. The first, that inquests be held in a timely manner, and the remaining directed at the Ministry of Children and Family Development to ensure that action plans for improvement, training, and evaluation and funding reviews are completed. There is already a lot of evidence in this case, and the decision whether to proceed further with criminal charges lies with the British Columbia Crown Attorney's Office. How we got here involves more complicated topics that we'll cover in a future podcast. However, if you have any information that has not already been given to them, anything you can add to help clear up exactly what happened to little Amanda, please contact the numbers you see on your screen. Remember that you can also give tips anonymously through Crime Stoppers. Amanda's killer may never be prosecuted, but we can make a difference for every future Amanda by speaking up when we see abuse, by insisting that Indigenous children have the same care and protection as every other child, and by holding our government and their departments to account. Thank you so much for listening.